Alright guys, I've debated this a couple different ways and what we're going to do here, and I figured out I think exactly how we're going to do this. So what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to mount my other transducer right next to this other one because it is the best place on the boat per the manufacturer to install it. So I want it to be right where they want it. Now we'll just switch between sonar units. We won't use one when we're using the other. We'll just have to do two different runs, but I do not want it on the other side of the boat. I already plugged some holes over there. I got more holes to plug. We're drilling one set of holes and we're gonna put them right over here. And so the thing that you want, as I explained before, is for that deucer to be level. Now most boats have like a 14-degree transom angle, and so the bracket's already pre-made so that you can set your 14-degree transom angle. Now maybe it's not 14, my boat may not be, I don't know. We're just gonna go ahead and go with it because so far when I've been, on plane, the stuff's worked. So what I'm gonna do, I like to have the whole item in my hand as I'm lining this up, and you should mark these holes before you drill them. You should measure once and cut twice. I'm a hypocrite. And if I put the holes in the right spot, I can always make some adjustments. So I'm not super concerned with having this bracket be exactly perfect right now. And since I already had the other one lined up, I should be able to drill right against it. Alright, so I have one hole right now, and as I was saying, depending on where you drill these holes, this bracket has some adjustment, so your holes don't have to be perfect. But what's more important is that while the boat is in the water, that this is level from side to side, and that it is submerged in the water fully, and preferably don't bang it into a bunch of stuff. That is my biggest fear about having this thing on the back of my boat, is what I'm gonna ram it into. Before it's over with, hopefully it's better to ram that than it is to ram my prop into whatever the item may be, but I know myself well, and I'm a little bit scared about that. So we're gonna have to be a little extra careful. So I like my bracket position there. I'm good on that. So we're gonna go ahead and just drill this other hole right away. Now, you also should be putting some silicone on these screw heads before you put them in. Now, I'm not doing that because, again, I'm a hypocrite. I will do it later because the silicone's at the end of the road and I gotta go walk down there and get it. But imagine that I did put silicone on. Now for that particular part, I think we're pretty good. I like how this actually comes up, and I'm gonna try to not screw this thing too tight because I actually am gonna probably want it to stay in that position. I'm not sure if that's manufacturer recommended, but I will feel much safer with my boat knowing that that is set up in a safe position like that. So now they have this bolt here. I didn't exactly read the instructions, full disclaimer on how this bolt goes, but we're gonna guess that we have a metal washer, a rubber washer on one side, and then a rubber washer, metal washer, and a nut on the other side, right? So I think that's going to be our default position that we'll have it in. Now, I've got everything pretty much down there. I'm going to mount the head unit, I think on my live well. We're going to try a different spot for it. I had the other one kind of mounted off on the edge, but this other new screen's way too big for that. So we're going to mount that probably up in the live well here. I'll show you here kind of what we're looking at. Get you a little closer. Yeah, so here you go. You can see this pretty good now from this angle. All right, so I have the hummingbird mounted here. This actually worked out perfectly because it fit right in this little area here. The problem I have with the Lowrance bracket is, unless I put it at an angle, it's just not gonna fit. I mean, in the amount of angle, I don't know if it's the ideal angle. I mean, I guess I could go this way with it. This could be okay. But I don't want to have to sit in the driver's seat and turn my head. So I actually think I'm gonna mount this baby right on the live well here, so it can be right in front, because this is how I usually drive. So I can always change this later, but for right now, I think that's actually where we're gonna go ahead and mount that. All right, since that's a temporary location, I'm just gonna actually use 2 screws in that. Now, I know there's gonna be somebody on YouTube that's gonna immediately leave a comment on this, and it's gonna say, Travis, you could buy a RAM mount for your fish finder. I could buy a RAM mount for my fish finder, RAM sponsored person or person with large bank account. I'm the quarantine fisherman. We're balling on a budget and we don't have money for RAM mounts. RAM, if you'd like to send us some out, feel free to do so. I'd love to use your products. I have one for my cell phone that I will mount in the boat later, and I know you can buy one for your fish finder. And of course, I'd like to have a pole on it that I can move it around and do all that fun stuff. We don't have a job. This is our job, and this makes us no money. So we don't have RAM mounts. We have a live well we're gonna mount the screen to. And if you don't like it, you can send me a fucking mount and I'll put my own, your new mount on you send. But for right now, we're just gonna mount that right there. It'll work. It will work. Fish don't care where your fish finder is mounted. Doesn't matter. So, got a couple screwy dealies here. There's this book they include with stuff like this sometimes. That includes like a walkthrough and instructions and all that stuff you should read in the book. Helpful tips and tricks. That looks good right there, I have to say. It's kind of in my foot spot, but this is my default position for fishing, is in the back of the boat. So that's why everything's kind of centered back here for me. You may be different. You may have a bass boat and you may fish up front. And you may want to do this a little differently. Alright, so that's good. So, we got that mounted up. Let's see, what do we got here? There's juicer cable. Real basic today. I kind of like how the connection was made there. It kind of felt good. Alright. And let's see here. The only thing we gotta do is power. Alright, so I ran into one tiny issue. The power cord is a little short that they sent with. So we're going to have to do a little modifying on that to get the length that we need. But other than that, we got this thing in, and I think we're going to go check it out on the lake. So hopefully next time you'll see, we may boot this up before we go. Just kind of show you the menu options a little bit. But I watched a lot of videos before I bought this. And I never really saw the video that I wanted to see. So that's kind of what we're going to make today, is the video that I wanted to have as a buyer. So there's one little bit of criticism is the power cord is a little short, guys. You maybe just give me like another foot or something. But other than that, things are looking good. I think we're gonna like the spot that that's mounted in. So I have some other things I'm gonna go grab, put it on the boat, and silicone up my screw holes, and we'll be back at you.